We begin hour number 2 on this very historic Reaction Monday. Thanks for tuning us in on this Monday, the Monday after Hugh Freeze was let go at Auburn. We talked to Jason Caldwell from Auburn Undercover just a couple moments ago. We will go to Tuscaloosa, hear from Kalen, DeBoer. Bama had the off week last week. They get ready for a team that has an interim head coach, as the LSU Bengal Tigers will be in Bryant-Denny Stadium coming up on Saturday night. Bill Clark at 1 o'clock. Also at 1:30, we will hear from the interim head coach, DJ Durkin, and the athletics director at Auburn, John Cohen.
How about our friends at Mandu? Thanksgiving, the holidays right around the corner, and you want to fit in maybe your favorite pair of holiday pants, or you plan like I do on eating a lot, overindulging. Well, you can get ahead and you get into Mandu Electrical Muscle Stimulation Fitness. They're located conveniently right there in downtown Homewood, and they will set you up. Because of the EMS, it's all FDA approved. It's a 15-minute workout. Because of the technology, it's equivalent to 6 hours in a gym. I can promise if you stick with Mandu, you're going to get results. I've gotten results in so many other Jocks listeners that have taken me up on it. They have as well. Your first visit is free, and they'll put you through the workout. You decide if you like that 15-minute workout or not. Also, if you mention Jocks, 10% off the life of your membership. If you're a student, 15% off when you mention Jocks, the life of your membership. MANDUU.com. Or, hey, how about an early Christmas gift idea for someone in your family? Mandu, MANDUU.com. Tell Paul and the gang that Landrum from Jocks said hello.
Well, there's no question that Auburn gave Hugh Freeze everything that you potentially could want as a head football coach in the Southeastern Conference. They gave him flexibility with NIL. They did everything needed around that athletic department to give him the tools. They signed 19 players out of the transfer portal in the 2024-25 cycle, not to mention the fact that reportedly you paid close to $2 million for your starting quarterback, Jackson Arnold. Just did not work out. I remember an interview back, I think it was June the 4th, Chris Lowe had done an interview. He sat down with Hugh Freeze, and he was talking to Chris Lowe, and this was what Chris Lowe wrote about the interview with Hugh Freeze. He says, Auburn has spent handsomely on his 2025 roster in the $20 million range. We know that LSU spent around $18 million on their mercenaries that they got out of the transfer portal. But according to this article written by Chris Lowe on June the 4th at ESPN.com, he says that Auburn has spent handsomely on his 2025 roster in the $20 million range. So once again, Hugh Freeze, Landrum, was given all of the tools needed to be successful. The X's and O's just didn't work out.
Yeah, unlike whether it be in the past at Auburn or in other places, it seems like they almost gave him the keys to the kingdom. I would love to hear from the Hugh Freeze side if he had any interference. Doesn't sound like he did, but you do that and you get this record. And it's whoever you hire next, there's no secret formula. There's been guys that have been hired at places you say, wow, I can't believe that worked, and look what he's done. There's been other guys, well, this is going to be a lock. How many national titles should we count for the next 5 years? And they've fallen on their face. And especially now with the changing climate, and it's changing daily, it's different. How you run your program, how you operate with your staff. I don't know. I would be willing to let your athletic director, because it was going to be different with John Cohen, right? You hired a guy that could think for himself. Mississippi State fans hated to lose. A guy that was respected. He's coached in the SEC. He's going to come in and do it. Now, they might be allowing him to do it. Now, he's going to have influence. But there have been times in the past where basically the athletic director said, who am I hiring? I don't know if that is totally the case here. It remains to be seen. But also, you have to have guys that agree to it. And if it's John Summerall or maybe it's a Rhett Lashley, I don't see the Rhett Lashley thing happening. Because at this point, do you not, and I respect Rhett, and he's done a wonderful job, and I like Rhett, but at this point, are you going to sell to your fan base another Gus Malzahn-like head coach?
I don't think that would go over very well.
I don't either. So we'll wait to see, and you'll continue to see names that are buzzing about. But we want to hear from you on this Reaction Monday.
Absolutely. Also want to remind everybody, because I know it's been confusing, because back in the old days, when there was a coaching change, players could jump in the transfer portal immediately. That is not the case any longer. Following a head coach's departure, players now have a 15-day window to enter the portal, but it has to come 5 days after a new head coach is hired or it's publicly announced by the university. So this allows the new coach a short time to meet with the team and try to retain the players. So it's not like it used to be. If you remember when Nick Saban retired, it was immediate. Guys were jumping in the portal left and right. So if a coach is fired now, you have to wait 5 days after a new coach is hired, and then you have a 15-day window to go to another school. Just a reminder. So this roster, unless someone for Auburn just doesn't want to play football for the rest of the year and they just opt out, they can't go anywhere for a while. So
800-239-WJOX. Let's go first to Samuel. Samuel, good morning.
How y'all gentlemen doing this morning?
We're doing great. How are you?
I'm kind of glad that Auburn's going to get a new coach. Maybe they'll be a better team. In my head, it sounds scary, but it's best to beat a team that's actually kind of good because then you feel good about the win instead of absolutely destroying the team, and then you feel kind of a little bad for them. But at the same time, you don't.
Right. Who is your selection for Auburn's next head coach? Do you have a guy?
No, sir.
All right. Well, Samuel, keep it between the lines. We appreciate the phone call. Thanks for listening. Let's continue with the phone calls. Our buddy Lee is in Cincinnati, probably driving a big rig. Hey, Lee.
That's exactly what I'm doing, but I will say I'm not driving. I'm actually sitting for my 34-hour reset. But the question that I have is, you've got three of the top-tier jobs, not only in the SEC, but in the nation, in LSU, Auburn, and Florida Open. So which one do you think is the most appealing to any potential coach, and why? I mean, I know that each one has their positives, each one has their negatives, and they have to fit to the style of coach and to the coach's personality, but I want to know what y'all think. Which one is the best job that's open right now?
It's LSU. It's LSU. You got the whole state that's behind you by evidence of what you're getting there with the firing of Brian Kelly. Everybody pulling in the same direction. You got a bevy of talent. Doesn't mean as much as it used to because of the transfer portal rules, but that's a program that. Let's be honest. Unless you're Lane Kiffin, there's a good chance that you're going to get one shot at what is considered a middle to upper tier SEC job. And if you don't make it work, it's really hard to get a job somewhere else unless you have the gap like Lane did. I think it's LSU. Pat?
I agree. It's the flagship university of the state of Louisiana. There's no checks and balances there. They can pretty much do whatever they want to do. They've got the money behind them. Yeah, no, it's easily, to me, it's LSU.
Now, is it longevity? Are you going to have a shorter leash, longer leash? I think this day and age, if it's Florida, if it's Auburn, if it's LSU, if you're not winning after a couple of seasons and they don't see market improvement or a clear path to you getting better, then you're going to be shown the door.
Well, tell me, would y'all agree, though, that we're talking about these are three of the top 5 or 6 jobs in the SEC itself?
Yes.
Yes.
And so have you ever seen anything like this before, ever in the past, where you had the marquee jobs that are open like this, and there are just so few coaches is what I'm afraid of. What's the pool that they have to pull from?
Well, here's one thing you need to keep in consideration. For example, let's use Lane Kiffin as an example. I think Auburn has already been there, done that with Lane Kiffin, so they're really not in the market for Lane Kiffin. So then there's only a limited number of schools that potentially would be in the market for Lane Kiffin. Just like, let's say John Summerall may be John Cohen's number one candidate at Auburn. That's not going to be Florida's number one candidate. You see what I'm saying? I don't think they're all going to be fishing in the same pond, so to speak. I think there's going to be different areas that these different schools are looking.
That makes total sense, but what I'm afraid of is that Florida's going to come up on the weekend of the stick, for lack of better words, out of all three, because it seems like out of the three, in my opinion, and I love the Gators, they're my favorite team, but it seems like for many reasons it might be the least desirable out of the three. What do y'all think?
Well, it's close between Auburn and Florida.
I would have Auburn a little bit ahead.
I mean, it's close in my opinion. But let me ask you, Lee, as a Florida fan, if you were given a blank check right now and they would tell you yes, who do you go after? At Florida.
Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
Lane Kiffin, beyond any shadow of a doubt. There's absolutely no doubt, because I think if Lane Kiffin goes there, I actually think DJ Durkin will follow him and be his defensive coordinator.
I don't doubt that. What about a guy, I've seen this name, Cliff Kingsbury?
No, I don't like Cliff Kingsbury simply because I think it's the same way like with John Gruden. I think they're more geared towards the NFL and not college. There's such a big difference that people don't even realize or know about, that they don't understand between the NFL and the college ranks as far as how to go about coaching players and how to go about getting players. So no, I don't like this Kingsbury, not at all. No, I'd actually rather take John Gruden, but Lane Kiffin would be my number one choice.
Okay. Well, there you go. So you got your 34-hour reset. How many more hours do you have?
I'm on hour number 2. So I'm going to sit here and listen to Jocks for the next 34 hours straight because, it's the best radio there is. Let's face it. There's no doubt about it.
Well, Lee, we appreciate you. You're one of our favorite listeners, and hopefully when you're in town next, you'll drop by and have tacos with us again. Thank you.
That, I promise you I will. If I'm in Birmingham on Tuesday, you darn right. That's exactly where I'm stopping.
Lee, thank you. Safe travels out there when you get back going. We'll continue with your phone calls. Let's go to Roll Tide Rob.
Hey, guys. Hey, do y'all mind if I mix it up a little bit and not talk about all these coaching things? I'd like to talk about schedules, and I talked to Conrad about that earlier. Landrum, or can you or Pat look and see how many teams have taken their bye week before they play Alabama? And the reason I'm asking is because I read an article that Damian Harris was on CBS a couple days ago that said now he was protecting Alabama, and people were telling him that nobody respects Alabama anymore, that they're not a top-tier team in the country any longer. But if they're not, why do so many teams take their bye weeks before they play them?
Well, first off, the SEC office handles the off weeks. The individual teams do not get a say-so in the SEC schedule.
Well, why does the SEC office want Alabama for everybody to have a bye week before they play Alabama?
They hate them. They hate Alabama.
Well, Landrum, that's
pretty obvious.
You know that.
Second to their hatred for Auburn because of the officiating, they hate Alabama second most.
Yes.
It's all a conspiracy against teams in this state.
Well, Georgia and LSU might have a problem because Alabama had bye weeks before they played Georgia and LSU. So maybe those two schools.
Well, so did they both did too.
That's an attempt at the cover-up by the league
and
office.
LSU
Yes.
both had bye
That's
weeks
exactly
before they played Alabama.
I think you're onto something
Didn't
here.
Tennessee have a bye week? Didn't Vanderbilt have a bye week? Oklahoma's going to have a bye week. Missouri had a bye week.
Tennessee did not have a bye week before they played Alabama. They played Arkansas. They played Arkansas before they came to Tuscaloosa.
So the SEC is setting Alabama up to fail, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, is
It's
that pretty much a
disgusting.
bye week?
They don't need that brand in that
And
game.
I also thought that you couldn't have a bye or
fans.
play a cupcake before your last game of the season, your last SEC game of the season, which was in effect last year, because I believe both Auburn and Alabama had to play SEC games before they played each other. Is that something that went away as well?
Every SEC team is playing next to the final week of the season, for the exception of Ole Miss and Mississippi State. And they have the Egg Bowl, and both of those teams have a bye week before they play. But every other school in the conference is playing, including Alabama against Eastern Illinois, and Auburn is playing Mercer.
If Alabama makes it to the SEC title game, the team that they play will not get a bye week before they play. That should make you happy.
I'm not real sure y'all are understanding what I'm asking. Shouldn't there be a limit on how many teams can have a bye week before they play other teams? I mean, if we're not feared any longer, and we meaning Alabama, why should everybody try to make their bye week? So
How has it worked out for you? Why are you
Well, that
having
was my
such an
thing. It's
issue?
like, I understand where
Florida
you're coming
State
from,
had
Rob, but it's
8
worked
months
out
to
pretty
do
well.
it. Okay, I'll give you that one, but why do you have such an issue with this?
It has worked out pretty good, but they have been closer games than I thought they would be. And I would say this: Missouri didn't play an away game before they played Alabama. Not a single away game. They were all at home.
No, before they played Auburn.
How in the world does that happen?
Do you think Georgia's ticked off because Alabama got a bye week before Georgia and Texas has a bye week before they go to Athens? You think it's a conspiracy against Georgia?
Georgia had a bye week before Alabama too. So how can they be ticked off? They had an bye week too.
I don't understand how you can be upset with it when Alabama's won every game against the team that's had a bye week.
I'm not upset about it.
It sounds like
I think Alabama should have took their bye week before South Carolina.
Well, they don't get to take it. They don't get to take it.
They don't
SEC
get to decide.
decides. They have a system, software, something
they played Alabama.
that they.
Yeah, that's another one. South Carolina had a bye week before they played Alabama.
I, for one, vote to keep the bye week before the
Roll
LSU
Tide, Rob.
game.
Thank you so much.
No, hold on.
I would rather have a bye week
time
before
out, time
LSU
out.
than South Carolina.
Time out. Is he still on the hold?
No,
Did you hang up
he
with
can
him?
call back.
First off, no offense, Rob, but you were inaccurate like 2 or 3 times here. South Carolina did not have a bye week before they played Alabama. What is he talking about?
I don't know. Honestly, I thought he wanted to talk about Hugh Freeze.
South Carolina played Oklahoma at home and lost.
Y'all just trying to cover up this conspiracy.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, for those watching on YouTube, I mean, there's the helmet schedule right there. I've got every team. I don't see this gross negligence against the University of Alabama on bye games.
No, it's
Pat, but they're only winning by a touchdown, not 2 touchdowns.
They're not covering.
That's what I'm saying.
Like-
He's trying to put money in his pocket. I respect it. Yeah, I'm with you, though, Landrum. It's obviously not affected you at all because you're still winning those games. So,
Dwayne, welcome in.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Doing great. Hope you are.
I'm here. Listen, right quick. First of all, I go talk to Lane Kiffin, and I make him tell me no and never come back again. To me, you gotta go. You can't just give up on it. You gotta go back and ask him one more time. And second, what about Eric Morris at North Texas State or his offensive coordinator, Jordan Davis? Has anything been mentioned about either one of them?
No.
I'll hang up and listen, and thank you for your call, okay?
Hey, thank you.
I'm taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dwayne. No, I have not seen Eric Morris, his name mentioned. He's got an offense that puts up a lot of yards and a lot of points, but I don't see Eric Morris's name being into the mix, Dwayne.
Yeah,
That's a
North
good thought.
Texas is 6th best offense in America. They took out a very good Navy team this weekend.
They did. Navy actually held them to 31 points, which is saying something for that North Texas offense.
Very much so. We'll continue with your calls, your texts. Top of the hour, we'll hear from Kalen DeBoer. This is all on this Reaction Money on Jocks. On this historic reaction Monday, 1-800-239-WJOX. We were talking a little bit earlier in the show about the Vegas odds. Who's the favorite to take over at Auburn University? Well, they've just updated some odds for some other teams that have some vacancies. Right now, according to betonline.ag, Eli Drinkowitz is the number one candidate, according to Vegas, for the Florida job. James Franklin has the second highest odds for Florida, followed then by Lane Kiffin, Glenn Schumann, Clark Lee, and Jed Fish. That is the top of the Vegas board for the University of Florida job. Meanwhile, the LSU Bengal Tigers, now the leader at 2-1 odds to be the next head coach at LSU, according to Las Vegas, Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, who had a really nice run back in 2019 as the offensive coordinator for Joe Burrow and Ed Orgeron. Coming in with the second best odds for the LSU job is John Sumrall. Lane Kiffin has now fallen down to the third best odds at 4-1. James Franklin, there's that name again. James Franklin is up for like every single one of these potential jobs. I wonder if I could do a parlay and just like put Franklin in all of these. See what happens.
No, Kiffin's holding out for another NFL job.
Here we go again. Arkansas, it's 25% of the SEC is looking for a head coach. So there's a pretty good odds here that one of these guys that I've mentioned is potentially going to be the head coach at one of these four schools.
Yes.
The number one odds for the University of Arkansas job, James Franklin.
Okay.
If he wants a job, this is a good sign for him.
Would you take Arkansas or would you take Virginia Tech?
I would take Virginia Tech because the ACC is just
much clearer path.
Yes,
to things.
So disgusting.
If I'm putting probability, I think James Franklin more probable to Virginia Tech, just based on everything that I've gathered.
And it's so funny because it's like Ty Richardson told us a couple of weeks ago about Arkansas. It's like Bobby Petrino just needs to win a game.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
And I think he missed out the only opportunity that he had to get a win.
Yeah.
Was against Mississippi State.
Somebody had to win that game.
So James Franklin has the best odds at Arkansas, followed by Bobby Petrino and Ryan Silverfield. They're both tied.
I thought you were saying the most likely would have been Auburn. I would have thought Auburn would have been the most likely at that point. Because Mississippi State, at least they got more than a pulse on offense.
Third best odds at Arkansas, Brian Kelly. That's just not happening.
It'd be an easier transition from the accent, though.
Did Butch Jones win this weekend? Call him up from Jonesboro?
Oh, my gosh.
Gus Malzahn has 9-1 odds, the same odds as John Sumrall for the Arkansas job.
He had a good weekend. Florida State won a game again.
Sure did.
Which was good.
That's good for
It's
you
good.
and Alabama's CFP numbers.
Correct.
I know that they have been bad, and I realize what you're getting with the whole ball of wax, but Arkansas, why would you not put feelers out on Mike Gundy?
Let's see if Gundy is somewhere.
In terms of fit, it makes sense.
For Arkansas? Is that what you're saying?
With Gundy? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see if he's listed on here. Yeah, matter of fact.
I'm doing what people that create hot boards are doing.
He's got the sixth best odds at Arkansas, Mike Gundy.
It just seems like that would be the natural.
I would take Gundy over Petrino. I'd take Conrad over Petrino to coach Arkansas.
I think, yes, thank you for that.
Well,
I'd be concerned if you didn't.
No, as a person, I would take you all day long, but I'm saying as a football coach.
No, thank you.
Here's a name that I think you need to pay attention to for the Arkansas job, and that's Alex Golish.
Mm-hmm.
Why, you ask?
Because Russia is not that far from Fayetteville.
I think it's the closest point in the United States, actually.
His wife is from Greenwood, Arkansas, which is 20 minutes south of Fort Smith, which is about 70 miles south of Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Interesting.
They met when Golish was a GA at Oklahoma State, and a friend on the staff whose girlfriend knew Golish's future wife and set them up on a date.
His future wife was his interpreter, right?
She's a dietitian. No.
That would have been a fun storyline, though.
It would have been. He's only 41 years old.
So wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah.
He's a good football coach.
I think he's kind of flying under the radar now because they picked up a couple losses and kind of his name cooled off a bit.
I like Alex Golesh.
He's a great coach. Yeah.
His wife could go home.
Yeah, I like him. He's going to represent your program. He's a football guy. He eats it, sleeps it.
He's made life heck for some SEC teams in recent memory, too.
And he could. I had a brief interaction with him after we played at Raymond James last year. He could not have been nicer. Went out of his way to be nice.
Let's see what they say about Penn State. They got all these new odds that just came out moments ago. Brian Hartline is now the favorite.
Yeah.
That's what, man, he's going to be a good coach.
Eli Drinkwitz has the second best odds, followed then by Joe Brady, Jeff Brom, Brian Kelly, Manny Diaz, Matt Campbell all have the same odds. Then Mike Elko, Brent Key, Dabo Sweeney at 33-1.
You surprised that? Because when Florida came open, I thought Eli Drinkwitz, like, stop looking at Lane Kiffin. Eli Drinkwitz would have been a perfect fit. And he still may be named, but more people I've talked to, Eli Drinkwitz is an acquired taste.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that from the perspective but it's limited.
Well, I guess I look at it as, so we're going to raise flags about him, but Lane Kiffin, oh, yeah, we'll just put up with it because it's Lane.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's where I'm at with the Eli Drinkwitz thing, because I would look at him as he's like a milder version of Lane Kiffin, and all the guy's done the last 3 years is win football games. Like, he's probably going to win 10 games or more in 3 straight seasons.
Well, there's a ding on all of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Brian Kelly. There was something tragic from his past when he was at Notre Dame.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So of all the jobs that's currently open, James Franklin is not on any of these Vegas hot boards. Obviously, Penn State. And
James, look, this is crazy. We've had a change of heart.
Oklahoma State. Those are the only 2 jobs. UCLA, Virginia Tech, Arkansas, Auburn, LSU, Florida. He's all top 3 or 4.
Coach, Dan Lanning was right when he said the grass is not always greener. And by the way, yes, we asked, and he's not interested in the job. But we would love to have you back here in Happy Valley.
No doubt. Right now, you can get up to $15,000 off remaining 2025 Sierra 1500s and 2500s. The absolute lowest prices in Alabama. Where? At Courtesy GMC in Trussville, because it's halftime of the kickoff sales event. They're in Trussville at Courtesy GMC. The all-new 2026 Sierras, they're rolling in daily. A really great inventory of that right now. Went by there over the weekend. And just for a limited time, they're marked at 2025 model year pricing. So get by and see them on all these great deals. And remember, every new GMC comes with the Courtesy exclusive 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Check their online inventory out at courtesybirmingham.com. 9 acres in-person inventory there, right off of I-459, exit 32.
We are 30 minutes away from Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer, his press conference there in Tuscaloosa. The 1:30 mark, we're going to have DJ Durkin, Auburn interim head coach, along with athletic director John Cohen. You don't want to miss that. We'll get back to your phone calls. Got a lot of people waiting patiently to weigh in on Hugh Freeze and the future, what's going on at Auburn. 800-239-WJOX. 11:34, 3-man front reaction Monday. Hugh Freeze fired at Auburn. Where do they turn next? What does it look like for the remainder of the season? Tigers taking on Vanderbilt coming up this weekend. Back to the phones. Let's go to Poe. Hey, Poe, how are you?
Man, hey, good morning, man. This is my guys. I love y'all, man. Hey, look, this is my reaction for Reaction Monday. My thing is this. Oh yeah, first of all, we gotta give a big shout out to my Bulldogs, man, for winning the Loser Bowl. That's what I call it, baby. They won the Loser Bowl against Arkansas. So
hey, listen, they had to come back. That was a good performance, man. That team doesn't quit. Yep.
Yeah. So I was real happy about that. But one more thing I want to give a shout out to Clay Chalkville. That's where my kids went to school at. So we represented the Clay Chalkville in high school football, man. They undefeated and I got to find out who they play in the first round of the playoffs.
Clay Chalkville might be able to win 7A, Pat.
They're very good. Outstanding.
They're really good.
Yeah, they very good, man. So I just want to give a shout out to Clay Chalkville. But now back to this. My thing is with y'all, and stop me if I'm wrong. Matt Rule, I don't know why his name keep coming up. And like Conrad knows, when I call in, I talk about coaches and stuff, man. Matt Rule, I don't know why everybody's on this guy, man. Like me, I'm not a fan of him. He's not a winner to me. And stop me if I'm wrong about Eli Drinkwitz. If they going off of, which I don't know his prior record, but if they going off of this season, is it because of what he did this season? Because you got to look. His games were all at home, and he was able to do a lot of winning, except against Alabama. So, I mean, is that boosting him up on top of that?
No, I don't think so. He's also done it. This is how many double-digit win seasons does he have, and doing it at Missouri?
2.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's more than just this season. No, Eli Drinkwitz has far exceeded my expectations for him at Missouri.
Okay, good. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know nothing about his record, so that's why I was just asking a question about that.
Yeah, he's 2 games over 500 in SEC play, and he's about 18 games over 500 in his tenure at Missouri.
Okay, good. See, I didn't know nothing about his record because I don't keep up with him like that. But my thing is, man, we as college football fans, now who you going to go get for Auburn, which we already knew. Like I said, again, I tell Conrad now, we already knew about Hugh Freeze. I already knew. The reason why Auburn got Hugh Freeze, man, was because he beat Alabama when he was at Ole Miss. You know what I'm saying? Then it was a disappointment and a shame to see them play against Kentucky like that. They just put up 3 points, dude. So that's a sad situation, man, with Auburn being the program that they are. So, but, man, I just want to get my reaction to a lot of this stuff, man. Keep Matt Rule out your name because I'm not a fan of that cat, man. Just a lot more stuff, and I'm just glad my Bulldogs got them a good win. But just for these coaching hires, we got to get something going. Too many these coaches are losing their jobs, man. And I don't know, man. I'm just glad my Bulldogs got a win. But hey, look, like I say, I love y'all, man. Stay up. Keep Matt Rule out your name because he ain't a winner. He's a loser. It's your boy Poe. I'm out.
Hey, thank you very much.
Wow,
Poe.
he does not like Matt Rule.
No, he doesn't.
Mm.
Said he was not impressed with Matt Rule.
Is it because Matt Rule is now 0-8 versus AP top 25 teams at Nebraska and 2-24 versus ranked teams in 10 years as a head coach? Is that probably why?
Maybe
2-24 against ranked opponents, and he got a contract extension.
Yeah, but
that's big time.
Those 2 wins, Pat.
They're
big wins.
Huge.
Don.
Hello, guys. Happy Monday to you.
Hey, Don. Hey, Don.
How's everybody doing today?
How was the Auburn watch party Saturday night?
We were finer than frog hair.
I watched it at my house, Pat. I don't need to be in public with Auburn's playing football right now, okay? But I do have my second season starting tonight in basketball. So, as a matter of fact, there's basketball going on right now on TV.
Oh, there's basketball all over the place. You got women's basketball. Got started earlier this morning. So did men's. So
you got a little little Baylor and Duke going on.
You got
Top
Norfolk
20
State
matchup.
and Ole Miss women playing right now over at the Pavilion.
Yeah, and at 6 o'clock you got Arizona and Florida.
That's a big one. Yep.
Okay. But, all right, guys, I asked Conrad this on hold and everything, and I've been watching a lot of podcasts the last 24 hours, and one of the guys' podcasts is named Charlie 5, and he suggested this, and Conrad agreed with me. What would you guys think if Durkin wanted to fire up the team and start Deuce Knight?
I don't think it's a good idea.
What? You do think it's a good
I don't.
idea? Or a
No,
bad
I don't.
idea?
I don't.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the other night was not the quarterback's fault.
No, absolutely not.
The offensive line was trash. So I mean,
oh, good God!
Why would you want to put your most valuable commodity moving forward out there to potentially get seriously injured?
Don, were you still watching? Were you still watching when he came into the Ball State game? I realize it was one game, but were you still watching?
No, I went to that game and I was on my
Go
way
back and
home
watch it.
when he
Go
was-
back and watch when Deuce Knight came into the game.
Yeah,
He's not ready. He's not ready,
I would-
especially with what you have in place with whatever offense they're going to try to run this weekend. It's not a good
Right.
idea.
What if you played him against Mercer?
I guess you could do that.
Okay. Well, I just think it would help. It would help keep a lot of players and
Wait.
I
Keep
don't
a
know.
lot of players from what? Like trying
Well,
to keep them
just-
for 2026?
yeah,
No.
yeah.
No,
that's my point.
I mean, listen, folks need. I mean, Don, no offense to you, but folks have got to get out of this mindset that everyone's roster is going to turn over. This stuff about, hey, we got to do this to keep them for. You've got to play for Saturday. Period.
That's it.
No,
End
I-
of discussion.
I agree.
And
I
I mean no disrespect towards you, Don.
No,
at
it's
all.
not
No,
just
no,
you,
no,
Don.
no.
Don. We get it a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's just we this is the NFL now. From a coaching scenario
It is.
to players not, being able to play. Now they want to, hold you hostage and want to go elsewhere. This is where we are now.
Next coach could come in and say, Deuce, look, I think you're a fine player, but you're not the fit that what we need.
Yeah, you're not going to work in my system. So
We're not paying you whatever you were making last year. That's just go and put yourself in the portal. That could be the case.
Okay.
That's the case at a lot
no.
of different places.
No, good point, guys. But on the coaching hot board right now, guys, can you actually believe that Jimbo Fisher is on this hot board?
Yes. Yes, because we have watched
No,
Auburn just as long as you
Lord,
have, and
no.
the things.
Lord, no,
Somebody
no.
put his name. Jimbo is down there politicking with whoever will hear him right now. You bet your booty on that.
Okay. Well, would y'all say that Summerall is the favorite right now?
If you were going to have a favorite right now, I would put him right there at the top. Yes.
And would you put DJ Durkin second?
No.
Okay. All right, guys. Well,
wait.
thank y'all
All
very
right. So who
much.
do you want? Who's your top three?
I want my top three are these three.
Okay.
Summerall first, Durkin second, and Drinkowitz third.
Okay.
Okay. Well, guys, thank y'all, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. We should have a good crowd. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate the call.
And I stated it in the first part of the show that DJ Durkin, there's probably a lot of Auburn fans that would be about that, but I don't know how serious. Well, I do from the person I talk to who I trust. I don't think right now he is at the top of that list with the people who are making decisions.
It feels like it would be a lot like the Hugh Freeze hire in the sense of you would have a large portion of the fan base that would be excited about it. You would also have a large portion of the fan base that vehemently opposed, despised the hire because of things in the past.
Yeah, and okay. And I don't want to go through all that again. I mean, was he found? It did go to court, right? He was found not liable in a court of law.
That's my recollection. Yes.
But anyway,
Hire Durkin and bring his. You know who his offensive coordinator was at Maryland when he got fired?
Mike Locksley,
Matt Canada.
Matt Canada. Don't bring him to Auburn.
And guess what? Matt Canada is unemployed right now. He is
Yeah.
doing nothing.
I could share some things on Matt Canada that I don't really wish to get into. Let's not do that. We will
That's a great
continue
name.
with your phone calls.
He was their offensive coordinator at
I know,
Maryland
I
when he
just-
got fired.
Forgotten that he was the offensive coordinator at Maryland.
And-
Did you forget that he was the offensive coordinator at the Steelers too?
Oh man, he wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
At LSU.
Well, I was about to say I think a lot of people remember the LSU, but
Again,
yeah, don't bring him to
another guy where it never ends well. If you gave me some truth serum, I could tell you some stuff. We'll continue. 3-man front, your phone calls, your text.
At the top of the hour, we'll hear from Kalen DeBoer as the Alabama Crimson Tide. They prepare themselves for the LSU Bengal Tigers coming up Saturday night in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Tomorrow night, we're going to find out exactly where the Alabama Crimson Tide is slotted in the first of the season, the college football playoff rankings. All indications are that it is going to be 2 from the Big Ten, 2 from the SEC. They will populate the top 4 spots. How that will break down, whether it's Ohio State, Indiana, Bama, Texas A&M, or perhaps even Indiana, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Bama. We'll see how the 4 is slotted tomorrow night.
We continue with your reaction to Hugh Freeze being fired at Auburn. Let's go to Crimson Convict, who wants to weigh in. CC, how are you?
I'm good, man. Probably like every other Alabama fan. I just got my feet up and enjoying the train wreck.
Good.
Let me ask you something. All right, so I was talking with Conrad. Do you believe the product on the field Saturday forced John Cohen's hand because the villagers were about to show up at his doorstep with torches and pitchforks?
Yes. I think ideally John Cohen would have wanted to wait until after the Iron Bowl to announce that Auburn was going a new direction. Now, if Hugh Freeze had won out and won the rest of his games and beaten Alabama, that would have been tough. I don't think you can pull the trigger there, and Auburn would have been forced to have another season. But no, I do not. I do believe that. Yeah, I said it last week. A loss to that Kentucky team in your home stadium, and especially the way that they lost with the lack of offense and scoring 3 points, you have no choice.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what? And I'm hearing the same thing from all of my Auburn buddies. All of them, and I don't know where it's coming from, are I was like, who do you want? Who can you get? Because, I mean, let's not stick our head in the sand. Auburn is not in a good position, man. With the high-profile jobs that are open right now, I mean,
I disagree.
Maybe.
Okay, who are they going after? They're not going after Lane Kiffin. I want to spoil everybody's party. They're not going after Lane Kiffin. So John Summerall being a common name between LSU and Auburn's searches, air quotes. Who else?
Well, I mean, you still got Penn State out there.
Yeah, but they're not looking at the same candidates Auburn is. So I disagree.
Okay, I get it. I do. But see, here's the thing. One thing I do disagree with that the guest you had on at the beginning of the show, yeah, there are politics at every university, and let's not lie. All NIL did was raise the relevance and the importance of these boosters. I mean, they are front and center more so than they ever have been. And for some reason, Auburn is notorious for eating their own more so than any other university.
Yes.
If you can we agree on that?
Yes. Yeah. Auburn fans would agree with you. But to say that is absolutely still the case, I think is short-sighted because I don't believe it is.
Okay. All right. I'll take that. I mean, if you don't think that Jimmy Raines not going to have a head seat at that table on this decision, I mean, I would have to disagree with you.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. There was a time, and Pat can tell you, there was a time where the influential people at Auburn, and you had one or two.
There was one.
It was one, and he made every decision that he wanted to make within that athletic department.
Absolutely. That was Bobby Louder.
Okay.
And whoever the sitting AD was answered to Bobby Louder.
Well, I know this. I don't know if a coach is going to want the headache of the politics, and I understand you got to deal with them everywhere. I do. And I'm looking this, and I told my friend the other day, I was like, look, football, and I'm sorry, Alabama fans, but this is the truth. Football is better in this state when Auburn is relevant. It just is. And I want Auburn to be relevant. I don't want to see – I don't want to be going into the Iron Bowl as a double-digit favorite. I would like to see, the playoffs on the line for both teams. And I hope that they can get this one right, man. But, with Auburn fans saying, I want to see what Durkin can do, I just don't think Durkin's the answer. And that's just my 2 cents, guys. And I'll holler at you a little bit later.
Thanks, CC. Appreciate the call.
Good stuff. We'll continue with your phone calls. Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Did he just say that DJ Durkin was not the answer? Is that what I just heard?
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm gonna throw this stat out and make a point to that afterwards. So there's and you may have seen the stat floating around. Honestly, it's unbelievable to me. There are 3 teams in college football that have held their opponents to 24 points or less thus far through, 9 weeks?
And then Ohio State, Indiana, and Auburn.
Correct. You win. Good job. All right, so why is John Summerall the leading candidate as far as the Vegas odds go to be the next head coach at Auburn? Because if you're doing a comparison, who has the better defense? He's a defensive-minded head coach. Am I correct on that?
You're talking about John Summerall. He played linebacker at Kentucky, so I guess he would tend to go defense.
He was like a co-defensive coordinator at Kentucky and general assistant. Coached at Troy, went to Tulane. I'm just saying, if you're going for defensive-minded head coaches, which, I mean, based off his background, that's what he is. Why are we not talking about DJ Durkin as the head coach? I mean, that stat that I just read is crazy.
Well, and again, I don't know if Auburn's looking for a defensive-minded head coach or not. It's just the body of work for John Summerall as a head coach is more successful than the body of work as DJ Durkin as a head coach.
And there's familiarity with the state. John Summerall has great relationships with high school coaches in this state. And that doesn't mean as much as it used to, but it's still important.
All right. So with that being said, because that was going to be my next point, I haven't heard this name. I know he's kind of getting up there in age. Why? I mean, Skip Holtz, if you're looking for familiarity with the state, I mean, he's won 3 championships.
Well, I can tell
the
you this.
Stallions.
Landrum and I have gotten to know Skip Holtz personally, and Skip Holtz is an outstanding football coach, and I think he would be a great fit. But guess what? He does not want anything to do with this new college game. He has told me and Landrum publicly and privately how much that the college game now is just completely different. He is perfectly happy coaching pro ball.
Giddy up.
Yep.
Well, as long as it's not the guy that broke Bo Nix and Kenny Dillingham, I'll be just fine.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. We'll go to Tuscaloosa next. Kalen DeBoer, he previews the LSU Bengal Tigers coming up on this program at 12 noon. This is 3-Man Front. It is 12 noon. Welcome back in. Hope everyone's having a great Monday. This is Reaction Monday on Jock's three-man front. We will continue with the Hugh Freeze conversation. Had a lot of banter back and forth with the listeners. Our text line has been exploding at the seams, brought to you by Courtesy GMC. We also heard from Jason Caldwell from Auburn Undercover, got his thoughts. If you missed that interview, you can always go back and listen in its entirety. We will go to Tuscaloosa momentarily. We're waiting for Kalen DeBoer to step to the podium, and we'll carry those comments live coming up. But I want to tell you about Abide Roofing, because Abide Roofing, they are raising the roof, literally. Abide Roofing is giving one deserving homeowner the brand new roof, completely free. This isn't a gimmick or a sales pitch. It's their way of saying thank you to the community that's trusted Abide with their homes. Here's how it's going to work. Fill out the quick form at abideroof.com. Look for a green bar at the top of the homepage. Nominate yourself or someone who deserves it. Then watch out for our winter announcement, which is coming up in December. The value is up to a 30 square foot roof, or roughly $13,000. Maybe it's someone who's fallen on hard times and can't afford repairs, or a single parent working two jobs just to make ends meet. Maybe it's a veteran, a first responder, or a teacher who's also giving back to others. Or maybe it's that neighbor who volunteers for every local event, a true pillar of your community. Whoever it is, they want to hear your story at Abide Roofing. So at Abide Roofing, they believe everyone deserves a safe, reliable roof over their head, and it's their way of giving back. So don't wait. Entries are open now. So go to their website, abideroof.com. Don't wait. Enter through December the 12th, 2025. The winner will be announced on December 19th, 2025. For complete details and to enter for the free roofing giveaway, visit abideroof.com, a very cool thing that Abide Roofing is doing during the holiday season. All right, Kalen DeBoer is making his way to the podium. This is Kalen DeBoer, the head coach at the University of Alabama.
Yep, you bet. Good morning. Coming off the bye week, I think it was very productive. Guys got chance to get their bodies freshened up and mind as well. Yesterday was a great practice for us, full of energy, and getting a chance to dial in the end of the week and going into yesterday on LSU, and always focusing on continuing to improve. I think that our guys still really believe that that's the case. That needs to be the mindset we always have in our program. But heading into this game against LSU, we expect nothing but their best. A high level of energy. It's going to be a great environment. I'll just add that we need our fans to continue to be what they've been and show up and continue to make Bryant-Denny Stadium the hardest place to play in the country.
Thanks, Coach. Let's start with Charlie here on the far right. Yeah, Coach, do you have any kind of comment or statement on Drake Kirkpatrick Jr.?
Yeah, totally. Unfortunately, with this information that I have at this time, talk to Dre, and we need to indefinitely suspend him, and he understands there's consequences that come with his actions.
Chase on the side. If you could update on a couple of injuries or guys kind of coming back. Vandemark would be one, Danny Lewis Jr., and then also Quay Rousseau, who's been out longer.
Yep. Vandemark is making good progress. Been practicing this last week, so I expect him to be ready to go. Quay has made, I think I mentioned last week, he's made good progress. That continues to be the case. Probably don't expect him to be ready to go this weekend, but he's doing a lot more than he has, and it's very promising with the direction he's been going. And then Danny Lewis, we'll see how things go through this week. But the bye week was certainly good. He wasn't able to play, the previous week. So, I'm hopeful that he'll be ready to go. But we expect him to be on the football field practicing with us more this week than he has the previous two.
Nick on the far right.
Yeah, you've had a lot of successful post-bye games. How similar to the prep that you saw last week and just coming into this week to those successful times?
Yeah, I think it just really goes into having a great staff that puts a great game plan together, gets it dialed in a timely manner, when you have players that go make plays and they can get those extra practices in on a great game plan and go execute. That's really what matters. It's really what it comes down to. And so, I expect the same thing with our staff. They've done a great job really focused and have the routine down, the timeline of when we want to install certain things, having practices that are fresh and guys excited to be out there on the football field, continue to get better. So, yesterday, like I said, was a great practice. It wasn't long, but it was just, a dialed-in Sunday practice, and, looking forward to getting on the field tomorrow, Tuesday, and I think our guys are really excited about it as well.
Go to Colin on the front left. Hey, Kalen. Not only this week, but kind of looking ahead to it doesn't seem like you guys have to leave the state of Alabama through your final 4 games, and I'm curious about what, I don't know, is that a point in your guys' favor? What are the kind of the pros and cons of not having to travel, far for an SEC game?
Yeah, I guess I hadn't even thought of it in terms of not even having to leave the state, but I thought of it in terms of having a number of home games, and that's been great for us. It doesn't guarantee anything. I think it still comes down again to the preparation, but we definitely feel there's a home field advantage playing here at Bryant-Denny, as I said. And so, we're looking forward to having, these teams come to our place, and our goal, and as always, is to protect our house. And so the guys really, take a lot of pride in that, and want to continue to do that and uphold the streak that we have.
All right, let's go on the far left. We'll finish up with Hunter. You're good? Any other questions? Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and leave race. Coming on your left side.
Short and sweet. What sticks out to you about playing LSU?
Well, this is going to be a physical game. It was last year. I think it always has been. That's the tradition here. You can see what their team is made up of. It's physical players. I think they got elite skill, both offensively and defensively, whether it's coverage or being able to win on the perimeter and the running backs as well. So, this rivalry goes way back. You do the introduction with our team and talk about I think it was 1895, if I remember right, doing the research, and that's a lot of games that have happened between these two schools, and so we're looking at this as one of those rivalry games that I was told much about when I first got here. So it's going to be, again, a great environment, a lot of pride, both for our program and theirs as well.
And we do have, Hunter, you do have a question on far left. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just what have you seen from Ryan Williams' growth over the last few weeks, both on and off the field?
Yeah, as I've always said, whenever adversity comes, it's your response. And I think any type of adversity he's ever had, his response is always to go attack. And whether it's coming off of an injury or whether it's coming off of, just him wanting to play better than he did the week before, it's always 100%. He's from a character trait, just humility that he has. He's all about the team 100%. When he really focuses on that and trying to be the best he can, which is really the case all the time, man, it's just so much fun being on the football field with him every day in practice. And, he runs his routes full speed. He's doing the extra work before practice, after practice. No one on our team is ever going to question the work that he puts in and how important it is to him. But, he's continued to attack, just getting better, and I think that's shown up. We're all human, so he's not going to be perfect, but he's really continued to hone in on the things that matter, and I think you're continuing to see him trend up.
All right,
thank you.
That was Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer with his weekly press conference as the Crimson Tide, coming off a bye week, prepare to face the LSU Bengal Tigers down in Tuscaloosa this weekend. But now we'll get back to more Hugh Freeze reaction. Your response on the Courtesy GMC text line as well as the phone lines 205-834-9450 as the conversation rolls along on a Reaction Monday right here on Three Man Front.
Very quick and to the point, Kalen DeBoer. Hadn't heard from Kalen in a while, but that was kind of quick to the point. At least Nick Saban used to go at least 15 minutes. He didn't even go 15.
It's LSU week, Pat. There's extra work to be done.
The news that is going to resonate, what he said, if you saw this over the weekend, that Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. was arrested. And so Kalen DeBoer, he addressed that, saying, unfortunately, with the information I have at this time, we need to indefinitely suspend him. He understands there are consequences that comes with his actions, end of quote. And Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., he had put himself in a position to where he was finding himself on the field a lot more in some crucial situations. So that will definitely hurt Alabama's depth there in the secondary.
Not as easy to replace these days as it used to be. 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, you notice it, you're concerned about it, but next guy up now, that can hurt you. Can be pivotal in a ball game. I don't know if it will be in this one, but you want to have all hands on deck for sure.
Also, it was announced that Alabama and Oklahoma will be a 2:30 kickoff inside Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Wanted a night game for Conrad.
I didn't.
Why?
Just bad memories from last year at night. Mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
I like 2:30 sounds good. And yes, before everyone asks, I will be there. So that changes how you feel about the outcome of the game.
What time are you going to get down there for the LSU game?
Oh, I'll be down there early. I got a tailgate beforehand.
Uh-huh.
I'm just kidding. No, I'll get down like an hour before kickoff.
30 minutes before.
Probably don't need to tailgate for that.
Nothing like the 2011 game. That was unbelievable.
20,
outside.
I was about to say 2014 or was it 2015 LSU? That was my favorite memory as a student there. It's always fun always a fun crowd when LSU comes.
Yep.
Always a good time.
Good atmosphere. Always is.
800-239-WJOX. You can get in on the phone lines. A lot of you reacting to Hugh Freeze being fired, talking about potential replacements, which direction Auburn goes. Let's get back to your phone calls. David. David.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for entertaining me on my road trip today. I do have a question, and it could be a cannot, but I'm going to ask, will Auburn make a bowl game this year?
Let's see. They got 4 wins. Oh, and I'm going to say no.
Also, I'll say I think we got Auburn has a better chance of beating Alabama in the Iron Bowl with Durkin as the interim than Hugh Freeze as the head coach.
In-game decisions, I will roll the dice on DJ Durkin based on what I saw from Hugh Freeze over 2.5 seasons. No doubt about it. I'm going to be really interested, David, to see what this offense looks like this weekend.
And lastly, how important is the conversation with John Cohen and potential head coaches of keeping Durkin on staff as a defensive coordinator?
I don't think it's a prerequisite, but I think it would be a really good idea if DJ Durkin was open to it if he's not going to be considered or ultimately named your head coach.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to hang up and listen on the rest of my trip.
Hey, David, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Tune in anytime. The Jocks app, you can take the show, the station, wherever you go throughout your college football travels.
So do you think that he would entertain that? Because that would be my thing with Durkin, right, is if you're not given what you feel is a legitimate shot
I
at
think
getting
the
head coaching
likelihood
job.
of him being reunited with Lane Kiffin is a lot more likely than that scenario that he just mentioned, but I wouldn't throw it out.
No, and I wouldn't throw it out either. I guess I look at it as if you view yourself as, why am I not being a candidate for the
Right.
job, and you don't get it, why would you stick around? But maybe he will. It'd be good for Auburn if he did.
Yep. Cigar Cowboy.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
I have a follow-up question to something Landrum said as the last hour closed out.
Okay.
You made the comment, what would Auburn do if Freeze had won or won out or whatever? Bearing that in mind, what was Florida thinking when they rewarded Billy Napier, rewarded his last win with a termination?
It was because they knew that they wanted to make the move, and even with a win over Mississippi State, that was the win, right? Even with a win over Mississippi State, they were going to go ahead and do it, which I was told that was, you get contradicting reports, but that was kind of the plan. There was an expectation that Hugh Freeze would lose to Arkansas and that they would make the move then, but they didn't like the optics. They didn't want to do what Florida did and fire him after a win. So I think that they thought it would come this next weekend versus Vanderbilt. I don't think they ever thought it would be the Kentucky game.
Nor did I, but I just, that whole – what is your opinion of how good, bad, whatever the optics were on Florida rewarding him with, a buyout, but with termination?
I think this day and age, people are starting to get it and to understand it. So I didn't see a whole lot of blowback with it. You run that risk, and it's also a risk if you let your coach, and it's harder to do these days, finish the season. But another thing that you're worried about, and LSU back in the day was worried about this with Les Miles when they would go through it with him. All right, we know we want to make the change. We don't want to continue. We make the change, and the interim starts reeling off wins.
Yeah, I get.
And you get inherent pressure from the fan base to hire the interim. We saw a little bit of that with Cadillac Williams at Auburn before Hugh Freeze was hired.
And when Freeze got cut, I don't know if you looked at Facebook, but everybody started clamoring for Cadillac to be returned.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so then you've got, not only are you trying to hire a coach and work through candidates, then you're trying to fight off some of your supporters and your paying customers. And you don't want to be mean to one of your former running backs and someone who was beloved by the Auburn people.
And had a perfect record at the helm.
And had no business taking over that job, I'll add.
Well, I'll give you that, but just, optics versus stats.
Yeah.
I mean, my loyalty's in Tuscaloosa anyway, so I'm good.
So, yes, you are. You are. You're in prime position. Don't lose this weekend. Your text, welcome as well. 205-834-9450. Let's go to the text line now. This one coming from the Jocks app. Auburn shouldn't have to look real hard. Mike Shula's available since he was let go yesterday.
Did you see how much they're paying him buyout?
What was it?
What was it?
Couple $1 million.
Sweet.
I mean, that's like $2.3 million to get rid of Mike Shula. That's more of a buyout that he got at Alabama when they fired him.
That's a great point.
I mean,
that is a great point.
It's like, I'm not saying it's not justified, but the fact that South Carolina's got a worse offense than Auburn, I mean, by a lot. They don't even average 300 yards.
Oh, yeah, they're
game.
easily the worst in the conference, yeah.
Maybe Shula and Freeze get together. They collaborate.
This is the most important question that I have during this whole weekend, as soon as it happened. Does that mean that we will not get the Kalen, DeBoer, Hugh Freeze television commercials anymore about the hamburgers? Is that gone?
I saw one yesterday.
Oh, you did see it yesterday?
I saw one yesterday, yeah. That commercial cracks me up every time. It's so cheesy.
What was the name of the Hugh burger?
Oh man, it's the DeBorbecue and the Hugh. It's like Humongous or something like that.
Humongous buyout, yeah.
I'll be sad if that commercial goes away.
I got a feeling you will not see that.
Can they just
much
redo
longer.
it? We have technology now. Can they just do like a deep fake of
And it's
DJ,
not DJ
Durkin
Durkin?
over Hugh Freeze, but it's still Hugh Freeze's voice doing it?
This one reads, I love Hugh, guys. Praying for his health, but my Tigers had to make a move. As far as the next coach goes, I'm going Franklin Durkin or Brian Kelly, WDE. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for taking time to text.
It's the freeze with cheese, by the way.
Freeze with cheese.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's the name of. Thank you for the texters. Yeah.
Dave says Mike Gundy's offense, Durkin's defense might have something there. We're getting all kinds of combinations now. B-Ham Dog. Who hires the coach first, Auburn or the Braves? Oh.
I think I think the Braves will be tomorrow probably because they're having their championship celebration today in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So
Georgia's actually had 4 teams have bye weeks. Bama has had 5 teams going back to Roll Tide Rob and
It's despicable, man.
that topic.
It's a conspiracy.
I think a few years ago, I mean, this might have been before the pandemic. It seemed like Alabama had even more than 5.
TJ weighs in. Considering the last 2 hires, would y'all be surprised if Auburn's next hire is another 3 and out? I myself have little faith in the hiring process unless it's Kiffin, which I know it isn't likely.
The thing that I'm going to be fascinated, no matter who the coach is, I cannot wait to get a hold of that contract and see how it's written. Because I think the days of these ridiculous buyouts, they're going to be gone.
So we going the way that the Louisiana governor essentially laid out last week for...
It is going to be heavily incentive-based. Like you're going to make this, which is, for the majority of Americans would take in a heartbeat. And then everything else is going to be added on.
But you don't think we're going to see the days of the base $10, $11, $12 million salaries anymore guaranteed?
I don't.
I don't either.
Unless you're Kurt Signetti.
You might get one or two or every now and then, but it's not going to be blanket like it was.
I mean, for example, a lot of people forget about Nick Saban's contract at Alabama. It was very one-sided in regards to if Nick wanted to leave, there was nothing. There was no buyout. There was no, if he wanted to go somewhere else to coach, if he wanted to go to Texas when that was being rumored and he was flirting with Texas, there was no buyout because that's the way it was set up. I mean, if you wanted Nick Saban, these are my terms.
Yeah, you're going to do what Nick Saban asked.
Period. In a discussion. Now, did you believe him on game day this weekend when Kirk Herbstreit gave him an opportunity to set the record straight with all these job openings?
Yeah, I don't think that Nick Saban's going to be a head coach in college football ever again. But you also never say never. But no, I totally believe him.
I'll say it, never.
Again, and going back to the reports that you heard last week of numbers being thrown around of offers that LSU may or may not have made to it, you think that's what's going to get him out of retirement? He seems pretty happy with, as he said, the team that he has on College Game Day.
This text from state of Texas, Summerall, all dang day. Thank you for that. Do y'all know who happened to win the Miami versus SMU game? One of our listeners asked.
That would be Southern Methodist University.
I think that's what I saw too, Pat.
Tay from Birmingham, top candidates for Auburn in no particular order. Alex Golish, John Summerall, Will Stein, the Oregon OC, Ryan Silverfield, the Memphis head coach. What's so special about Summerall? Again, I think Franklin has a better chance of being successful than he does in terms of fit. Auburn doesn't have a fit after all of these bad hires. I take an expletive every time I hear the word fit in Auburn. LOL.
That was a good text. I appreciate that.
As a lifelong Auburn supporter, I would love to see DJ Durkin as head coach. Chris from Tuscaloosa, would they consider Gene Chizik as coming back if he was interested? If he's bringing Cam Newton,
God.
I think you have a conversation.
If
you're bringing 20-year-old Cam Newton, we have a conversation.
Here's the thing. He did get you a national championship, but something that Hugh Freeze has over Gene Chizik is that he actually won an SEC conference game one season. Gene Chizik went 0-8.
He did.
That's a good point. I would be interested.
Do you bring Ted Roof back as your DC, or you let Durkin do it?
Why not? Nah, let Ted Roof do it.
See, that's my question with the Durkin
Ellis
thing
Johnson.
is, if you were to ask the people that want DJ Durkin to get the job, I mean, that's fine. I guess my question would be, who do you want to go get the offensive coordinator, and how many of those people would then say, well, go get Gus Malzahn?
No.
Again, not going to happen. I would just be curious how many people that would be their default answer of. Because I've just seen that a lot is, well, hire DJ Durkin and go find the best offensive coordinator you can.
Hire Philip Montgomery. We never got to see what he could do after 1.5 games of calling offense. And Freeze told us after the 14 points that Auburn scored and the Cal win in Berkeley that he had to call the touchdown play. Well, I had to step in there.
So here's my question. If 3 guys were calling the plays at Auburn and now one of the 3 have been fired, does that mean the other 2? How do they break that up?
No, that means
somebody else gets the third.
No, guys. You don't know how this is going to go this week. Nix comes up with a game plan, doesn't show it to Kent Austin until game day, and Kent Austin calls whatever plays he wants to.
Could be fun.
Why don't you just let the quarterbacks call their own plays?
I think that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Or you know what, defense? We think you should have a say. You guys have been putting out all kinds of effort. What should they run here?
Put Falk on the headset. Let him direct the offense.
Whatever gives us a break. Stay on the field, please.
We're going to run the ball every time.
And we're going to run the clock down to 1 second before we snap it every time because we need a breather.
To the notion that you got to have an elite quarterback to win the SEC, Mark says, BS, you can win the SEC without an elite quarterback. Stetson Bennett.
You can say what you want to about Stetson Bennett. He was a really good quarterback.
He was a Heisman finalist his last year.
When you have 9 years to perfect your craft, you too could be a college quarterback to compete at an elite level. Keep the calls, keep the phones coming in. Keep the text coming in. 205-834-9450. We're an hour away from interim head coach DJ Durkin.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll do a early edition of Pat Ponders on this Monday, heavily about Hugh Freeze and his future. That is straight ahead. It is 1:34. We will continue with your calls at 1-800-239-WJOX, the courtesy GMC text line 205-834-9450. We'll actually do some Pat Ponders. We typically do it in the fourth hour, but we have got a jam-packed fourth hour, including we will carry live the comments from Athletics Director John Cohen from Auburn University and interim head coach DJ Durkin.
That is exactly right. And how about our friends at Prize Picks? Prize Picks, that is your place to go daily and join millions of users. Sign up today. It's America's #1 fantasy sports app. It's really simple to play. You pick more or less on at least 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get 2 of those right, you can be a winner. That's right. It's that easy. And when you do so, well, Prize Picks, they're going to reward you with all kinds of bonus plays. Right now, it's really simple. All you do is download the Prize Picks app, use code WJOX, get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WJOX, $50 in lineups after the first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it is good to be right. Tonight, we do have the NFL. George Pickens, Hoover High School, Georgia Bulldog, almost an Auburn Tiger until Kirby stole him away on signing day. 64.5 receiving yards as they take on Arizona tonight. We going more or less Conrad Van Uter.
Ooh, that seems like an easy more. He's having a big year.
It does seem like an easy more, but lately we're on a little bit of a slide.
Well, we're going more. We're back on track.
Okay, we're going more there. How about Arizona's Jacoby Brissett, 253.5 passing yards, more or less?
We'll go less.
All right. I'm with you, Cowboy.
Put it all on me.
All right, we get both of those right. We're a winner. You can be a winner, too. Once again, code WJOX, $50 in lineups after you play the first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
All right, let's do this. 5 questions. They've got answers brought to you by Courtesy GMC.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
Brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trussville. Goodbye and see them off of I-459 exit 32 in Trussville. Question number 1. If Lenore Sellers would have come to Auburn instead of Jackson Arnold, would Auburn's record been better, the same, or worse?
It would have been better. He would have hit that little stop and go to Cam Coleman in the Oklahoma game. They get that game that Jackson Arnold overthrew him. But that's the only difference.
So technically better, right?
One game better, yes.
Okay.
I was thinking the exact same of one game better because you just look at those close games early in the year. I think if you had a little bit better quarterback play, I'm not going to say you couldn't have won at least one of those games. Maybe it's 2, but yeah, I think one game better.
Probably beat Missouri
bet.
too.
Fair. Yeah, so maybe 2, but yeah, I think they would be a little bit better off, but it wouldn't completely solve their problems.
I would give him 1.
One win. Molly says one win better with Lenora Sellers.
Can you not hear me?
No, we can't hear you at all.
Okay, no, that microphone doesn't work right now. That's fun.
You did what, Molly? Oh, my gosh. That's crazy.
Did you do all of that this weekend?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I cannot believe that.
Woo.
It was that kind of Halloween party? My goodness gracious.
Thought that only happened in P-Town.
Man, I know. Now it's going on in Nashville. What is going on?
See, you try to play all innocent, and then we find out you do that.
Yeah. We've seen the TikToks. We know.
Try it now.
Hope the,
Oh,
hope
so
the
doesn't
parents
work.
aren't listening.
It's not my
What have you done?
problem.
What have you done to her microphone?
I just did everything that I could do on my end, and it's not my
If you don't want her to talk, just say so.
Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I can't.
I'll throw the mic over to you, Molly.
Sorry, Molly.
All right, question number 2.
Pat has a megaphone, and you have a megaphone.
Why don't you just call the show? We'll just put you on the
Yes, call the hotline.
Call the hotline. No, it's not working. All right. Question number 2. What percentage do you put on Hugh Freeze ever coaching another down of FBS football?
FBS football?
FBS.
80%. I would say outside of if maybe his health issue is worse than it seems, and that's the reason that he can't get back into coaching, and hopefully that's not the case for him, I do think he will coach again at the FBS level.
Yeah, I do too.
What percentage?
I will
80%.
say I'll go lower than that, though. Say 60%.
I think it's 50-50. I'm back, but you still can't see me because this one is connected to that camera. I think it's 50-50, though, depending on health stuff. Hello?
Like, she just doesn't adjust it.
I know.
She doesn't want to mess it up for Pat. That's
I
nice.
think it's 50-50, Pat. It's like you're
Question-
recording We Are the World back in the 80s.
Question number 3. At what point of the Hugh Freeze era did you sense he was in trouble?
Like, when did it feel like he was going to get fired, or when did we start to realize, this isn't going to work out?
I will say one of the first red flags was getting beat 31 to whatever it was
10.
to 31 to 10 to New Mexico State.
Yeah.
And Diego Pavi is good, but you shouldn't lose that way.
That's exactly where I was going. Yep, that was because that was year 1, correct?
Yeah.
Of Hugh Freeze?
Gave
Yeah.
him a pass on the Georgia game when they got close because Brock Bowers, he's going to do that to a lot of teams. Then you compound New Mexico State with Gravedigger play.
Yep.
And then that just carried on into the next season where you thought you were going to get better. You get a Cal team returning to Jordan Hare. You don't look very good in that one. Decision-making, Arkansas, Oklahoma, the list goes on.
That Maryland Bowl game was atrocious.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maryland Bowl game, that's another
That
one,
was
too.
really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, New Mexico
You
State.
come out and admit that you had no role in any of the game planning. As it turned out, I don't think it would have mattered.
I was going to say not even making a bowl game last year. Or the New Mexico State game.
I would have said just his body language when he was interacting with Conrad
Thank you.
in Atlanta for SEC Media Days.
It's funny. I saw a couple of people yesterday that decided to share some similar stories after not sharing those in Atlanta. But yeah, it's not every day you see a sitting head coach at the bar hanging out
by himself
at media days.
Yes.
Doesn't happen every day.
Yeah, I will tell you, I've covered a lot of them, and typically the only one that you will see out in that type of general public is a Vanderbilt coach.
Well, God rest his soul. I could see Mike Leach doing something like that.
But I never did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, but he was making himself available, which I personally believe was smart.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have done it in a bar based on certain things that have happened in the history.
Well, as a head coach, if you drink or you don't drink, I just wouldn't have done it.
No,
in
not in a bar.
Because look, he might have been drinking water for all you know.
Very well could have been. But I will give him credit in the sense that, he was,
No, that's
went
my
up
point.
to him. I went up to him, talked to him. Multiple people talked to him. He was very nice and respectful, and I appreciated that.
He was in there for a particular reason, and that reason was because he wanted to have that one-on-one communication with media members, and that's why I applaud him.
Yeah.
I just would not have done it in a bar.
Nope.
Go out to the shoe shine stand. That was literally 20 feet outside the bar.
You could have done it next to Beyonce.
Yeah, he could have been in the lobby
cutout.
with the Beyonce cutout.
Kirk, let's form the line right over here. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Do you have your question for Hugh?
All right, next question. After another loss Saturday at home, Dabo Swinney joked he might get fired. Do you believe there's any validity to the rumors that he could be interested in the Florida job? And if so, how would he do at Florida?
I think that Dabo is certainly keeping his eyes open, and I wouldn't rule it out. That's a ton of money, but I would have said Dabo never would have entertained something like that. But based on their struggles, the expectations, and the criticism that he has continued to get, now it's more in number with the Clemson fans. I absolutely think that Dabo would entertain it.
I agree because I think he wants to go somewhere where he feels appreciated. He doesn't feel like the Clemson fans appreciate what he did for that program, which is remarkable. My thing with Dabo, look, I think Dabo's a very good coach. I just have questions about his willingness to adapt and evolve with the portal and NIL and those types of things. Because I think if he adapted and took those things in stride, he could have great success at Florida. I think there's a number of jobs that are open right now he could have a lot of success at. But until he's openly acknowledging that he's going to do that, I would have my reservations about Dabo.
Based on the way that that relationship has declined at Clemson, I think he would kind of see it as a way out finally if things are rocky. But I do agree with Conrad in the sense that he would have to embrace the portal and NIL in this new day and age of college football. But I have no doubt in my mind that if he could find a way to leave, he would.
It was also bizarre because in that comment or of his press conference, he also acknowledges, yeah, the AD's in the back of the room right now. He might fire me right now. Like, you just don't hear that a lot of publicly acknowledging, hey, the AD's right here, and if he wants to fire me, yeah, go for it.
Based on the people in that room covering that went over like a lead balloon.
Yeah, that was not
like that was not the time or place to make that kind of comment, especially after he made the comment a couple of weeks prior that, hey, if you want to fire me, I'm going to go coach somewhere else.
And regardless of how you feel, if you saw the end of the game of the pass interference it was called, it probably doesn't help when you're in the press conference and he's bringing up how bad the officiating was, and that's an excuse for why you lost to Duke, which you shouldn't do if you're Clemson.
Do you think the athletics director was happy knowing that the ACC and then publicly reprimanded you and fined you for those comments? Do you think that came out of Dabo Swinney's pocket, or do you think the university paid it?
I think Dabo's going to have to pay that one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's today's Pat Ponders, brought to you by Courtesy GMC and Trust. We'll get by and see them off of I-459, exit 32.
We are a little over 30 minutes away from DJ Durkin, Auburn's new interim head coach, and athletics director John Cohen. The press conference, you don't want to miss it. We're going to carry it here on Three Man Front as our coverage continues, not only of the Auburn coaching situation, but college football, right here on Jocks.
At the top of the hour, we'll talk to Coach Bill Clark, former UAB head coach, get his thoughts on a very busy weekend and the firing of Hugh Freeze. I want to tell everybody about Alabama Professional Services. You know, concrete leveling, if you have a sinking concrete around your home, Alabama Professional Services, they can lift and restore your concrete to help eliminate trip hazards and pooling water problems. They level the concrete driveways, walkways, patios, pool decks, and slabs. In Alabama, they use the proven polyurethane foam injection solution called PolyLevel. With PolyLevel, they can quickly restore the appearance and safety of your concrete without the mess or cost of replacement or traditional mud jacking. Concrete repair, if you're dealing with unsightly cracked concrete on your sidewalk, driveway, patio, or even that pool deck, and you're worried about tripping being a safety hazard for people that come over to your house, you need to call APS today, 205-951-9717. That's 205-951-9717. Or visit their website, alabamaprofessional.com, local company that is ready to help you, serving Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, and other areas across this great state of ours. That's alabamaprofessional.com, 205-951-9717.
Well, we'll continue with the reaction to Hugh Freeze being fired, who the next Auburn coach should be. Tony is in Lincoln. Hey, Tony.
Hey, guys. How are y'all today?
Doing well. Hope you are.
I'm doing great. I got a whole lot to say about the Auburn situation altogether, but I'm not going to try to say it now. But I remember it wasn't a couple of years ago, everybody on talk radio was against Lane Kiffin. He was enemy number one. And Dabo Sweeney is the only coach in the Division I that has the guts enough not to give in to NIL. And all of y'all hate NIL. Every one of you do. Y'all talked about it. Y'all don't like the transfer portal. You don't like NIL. But Dabo Sweeney's man enough to stand up against it, and y'all want to talk about how he needs to give in and go against what he thinks he ought to do just to make his team better. And so you're going to talk about him. And I bet all of y'all think now that Kirby Smart was just clapping his hands on the sidelines against Auburn. When you know he wasn't clapping his hands, he was calling timeout. Kirby Smart's a liar. Every one of y'all said that DeBoer, y'all talked about DeBoer after the first game, instead of got beat again, y'all would have wanted him to get fired. All y'all do is talk about these people as if they're just a merchandise to discard. I disagree with what Auburn's coach did and the way he handled things, but I still understand that he's a person. He has a family. He has kids. He has a profession. And all the talk radio show people want to dog the coaches.
Hold on a second, sir. I want to ask you a question. What was Auburn paying for with Hugh Freeze? Did they get their money's worth for what they were paying Hugh Freeze? Because, for example, in my job, if the company doesn't believe they're making their money based on what they're paying me, I will not have a job. Basically, Auburn said, Hugh Freeze, you are not providing what we are paying you, so you're going to have to go somewhere else. So do you think Auburn was not getting their money's worth?
Another objection that you said, never said that Kirby Smart was clapping. Said he was calling timeout and Kirby was lying. We all said it here on this show. Next.
Okay. Y'all act like Auburn was a failure all year. When and I'm not going to go back and make excuses. I'm not going to try to do that. But if you'll honestly look at the situation, there were a lot of reasons. Sure, they didn't win games, but there were reasons they didn't win those games. And the Georgia game is a good example. You don't think young men can get disappointed after one play like the
Sure.
game that the play at half, and their whole attitude changed. That cost them the Georgia.
And you know what
game.
happens though? And it was when I played. There's adversity that happens. Maybe not to that degree, but there's adversity. A guy goes down, whatever. You know what a real coach does and leadership looks like? He goes and he says, guys, you know what? This is a great life lesson because it's not going to always go smooth. How do you respond? How do you react? But I can tell you this. That call right before halftime had nothing to do with Auburn having 42 yards of offense in the second half. Thank you for your phone call. Let's go to Joe. Hey, Joe.
Morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Doing well, thank you. Joe?
Hello.
Hey, we got you.
Hey, with all these coaching openings, I think some of these summer schools, these bigger schools, are going to have to go down to the group of 5 level. And some
FCS.
assistants going to have to be promoted. What do y'all think about that? And I'll just hang up and listen, because I don't think all these positions are going to be filled by Franklin and so forth and so forth. Y'all have a good day.
I disagree.
They're going to be hired. Somebody will be desperate enough to hire them. Auburn was desperate enough to hire Hugh Freeze. There's always going to be somebody out there ready to pay.
And some coach with a big enough ego that thinks he's the one that can actually do it. And if he doesn't, after 2.5 seasons, he gets a handsome payday and he can go and hang out with Coach O or Jimbo or Urban.
Brian Kelly.
Nick Saban, if he's not too busy.
The Millionaires Club.
That's right. Your coach very, very soon. It's just a matter of time.
Why
Whoever
did you
your
make that
coach
caller
is.
mad? Why did you make him mad?
I just,
What is wrong
I
with
have a
you?
real problem with getting accused. I do a lot, but getting accused of stuff I don't do, yeah.